Why did the SOC team high five after spotting the cyber attack? They prevented the breach, detected the intruder, but their correction plan was just a sticky note saying, uh, Google it?
Dave on Cyber.
Hello cyber folks, welcome to Day 1 Cyber. This video is part of my series CISSP as an art, and these images are from my favorite film Ocean 12, and this is part 2 of the video. So if you haven't seen part 1, I would highly encourage to check part 1, because in part 1 the Night Fox is doing the robbery. He is successfully stealing this golden egg and running away. This is Night Fox. So after robbery he comes to his mansion where Daniel Ocean is waiting with his wife, and in the first part we understood about what are the categories of the security control: physical, logical / technical and administrative. In this video I want to deep dive on subcategories, or how can we use those security control in a broader context. The Night Fox has done the robbery, so the breach has happened. What could have been done? So we will revisit the entire scenario, and parallelly I also want to run one SOC malware scenario. Let's say we have a one rogue user. If he wants to go rogue and upload the virus in the network, then how these security functions can come into the picture. So what you can expect from this video is core CISSP concept. At the end we will go through all 6 different type of security controls in this video, and we will also understand how they fit into broader categories, and these are the different examples. Let's get started. The first one is deterrent security function. It's about making your intruder aware that the area or the perimeter is being monitored. So the Night Fox, when he's coming for the robbery, if he's afraid of the dog and if he see this kind of sign, this might discourage him. That's a different thing that he defeated the sign and stole the golden egg. But this kind of sign, if he's coming even inside, if he see visible laser thing, that means he knows that something is being monitored. Even security guard, he may not be physically present, which is part of the physical security control, but even the sign that the security guard is always available 24/7 on this premises is kind of a deterrent security control. So let's say if some user wants to go rogue and wants to upload a virus in your network, when he's using his laptop and desktop, and this kind of banner on every laptop's desktop screen or as part of the admin policy is quite effective, because it tells the user that whatever you do, it's being actively monitored. It may or it may not, ideally it should, but definitely it should make user realize that whatever you want to do, whatever your intention is, don't even think about it. The next one is preventive. So now let's say the Night Fox has passed the deterrent control. He is inside the premises. He is aware that this area is being monitored, but now there are things that should be able to prevent him to move towards the golden egg. Kind of we are talking about logical control here. All your technology will come here. For example, your security vault, I would say it's kind of physical, but let's say if it has a electronic code, or if it requires to unlock some cryptographic code, then it falls under technical control. All your access control comes here, your password, your biometric security comes here. So in case of our SOC malware scenario, if user wants to upload a file here, and then ideally the antivirus within the system should kick in, and if it's trying to spread the virus across different segments in the network, your firewall rule should be able to block it. But above all, the best prevention is the hardware hardening. So most of the companies now, they don't allow any USB to plug in to the laptop, because that's the direct injection. So this should be the first priority. You shall not pass. I like this. This was the dialogue from Gandalf in the Lord of the Ring. Check out that video that I made, how Frodo is responding to different kind of risk. The next one is detective, and before I forget, in terms of preventive, even your IPS comes here. So you know about IPS, those system which quite intersects with IDS. We'll make another video about the difference between two. But as far as the detective security control is concerned, your IDS comes here. So let's say when Night Fox is inside the perimeter zone, which is inside the restricted zone, he has defeated the deterrent control, even your preventive system has failed, now he's inside the real zone, then some detective controls are required. A CCTV camera sees something which is monitored by the security guard or internal security team, even your motion sensors. If anything is moving within this area, it should generate the alert and send appropriate notification to internal security team so they can take some action. If somebody is trying to inject the virus, let's say if they bypass the USB drive and if they upload on some network system, then ideally if it's on the system, then your endpoint security should kick in, which is the detective system within your system. But if it's spreading across the network, of course you should look after your segments. Segmentation is critical in large enterprise. So if it's within the network or if it's within the segment, then your network detective control should come into the picture and send appropriate notification to your SOC team. So those alerts comes here, that once they are in, that means you should have to have system to make them realize that we are watching you. Now let's understand corrective and recovery security functions. And before we continue, if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe this channel. So we will understand corrective and recovery side by side, because corrective is all about how you're going to isolate the damaged portion, while recovery is about once you have isolated the damaged portion, how you're going to bring your business back in the action. So let's start with corrective. Think about our COVID time. When people were infected with the virus, they were quarantined for specific amount of time in specific place. So those isolation was important because it does not spread beyond the boundary. Similarly, when the Night Fox is inside the restricted area, if your detective security control are successful in picking up that there is a moment in the restricted area where they don't expect anyone, and after that if alarm triggers and if this cage falls, that means your subject is now trapped inside the specific area, so that you can take appropriate action. So now in our SOC malware scenario, let's say somebody has uploaded the virus on specific system. It could be due to hardware vulnerability or software vulnerability. Maybe your antivirus signature couldn't pick up that particular virus. So now you want to disconnect this particular machine from the network so it doesn't spread across the network. So this corrective action is all about isolating your subject or threat into confined space so it doesn't spread beyond the boundary. And if you think about recovery, it's about taking action. Once you have your subject or threat in confined space, what can you do about it? For example, in the case of museum, once you catch the thief, you call police, 911 if you're in US, 000 if you're in Australia, or 100 if you're in India. I guess this number is still right. So it's about taking particular action so that your museum is again open for people to see the treasure, the golden egg. Now once the virus is there, then you have to think about how you're going to destroy it. Then this laptop wants to be used again, so then it's about, if there is a hardware vulnerability or software vulnerability, then you're going to address the patch so that nobody else can try that again. Also, if your operating system is damaged because of the virus, then you want to restore with the clean image. If your data is corrupted, then you might think about restoring from the backup. And as I mentioned earlier, if somebody has injected through USB, then also as part of the recovery, think about restricting your USB devices. It doesn't directly connect it to recovery because it's part of the incident management where you go and find out the root cause and harden your system, but something to think about. And the last one is compensating control, and this is my favorite. where you don't have only plan A in place, but also you think about plan B and C. So when one security control fails, you always have other security in place. It's also called defense of depth, where you have a layered approach. So for example, when somebody is trying to upload the virus, and as I mentioned, if your antivirus signature is failing to detect that virus, then maybe you want to block at the proxy level. So always think about multiple plans. So back to our Ocean 12 analogy, the best thing happened was the Night Fox character bypassed the laser. He defeated all the security controls, deterrent controls, technical controls, even he surpassed all the detective and preventive controls, and finally he stole the golden egg. But guess what? He got the fake one. What he stole was the fake golden egg, because just before that night when he went for the robbery, Ocean's team, they already stole the real egg in the train, and that was their plan B, because they already intercept Night Fox plan and they decoy the fake egg. So whatever he stole, the Night Fox stole, was the fake one. Now it's not the real compensating control because there was still a robbery, but I hope the concept is clear, because you always want to think about layered approach. If one security control fails, then others should kick in. And this particular slide, as I promised in the beginning, this is the key slide and the core takeaway I want you to take as part of this video. So we went through all the security controls in this video, and now I want to do the mapping, and that's what you can expect in your CISSP exam. For example, we spoke about the deterrent control, where you discourage your user or threat actors. So think about this banner sign or your security guard sign. So those are part of the deterrent control. So you can think and you can map your sign as part of your physical and admin control, because having a security guard, having appropriate posters or banners should be part of your physical and admin control. So this mapping is quite crucial. I'll just link this one. Now preventing is nothing but you try to stop with various access control. So for example, even your laser. So if Night Fox touched the laser, it would generate an alert. Now laser is again the fancy thing, so it comes into your technical control. Now detective control, your CCTV cameras, your motion detectors, it's all part of the detection, and that comes to your physical and technical control, because it's physical camera as well as is doing the technical things like generating alerts and sending via email or popping as an SMS as an alert. So that comes under physical and technical control. Now the next one is about corrective. If somebody is entered wrong username and password, or if they don't have right authentication, and if they are trapped inside the cage, that comes under your logical or technical control. And if you're taking appropriate action to bring your business back, it comes down to physical and admin activity. So that's your physical and admin security functions. And the last one, compensating, where you think about your layered approach, where you have plan B and C, it also comes into physical admin. So what I would suggest you to do is make this kind of chart, put 3 broad controls at the bottom and put all the functions on the top, and try to do the mapping, because you will definitely get 1 or 2 questions to test your knowledge about this particular concept. And I will also put one CISSP style scenario question in the comment, and let me know your brief answer, just not the choice. And please subscribe. Also check out my newsletter where I send monthly resources, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.